Everyone at the gala stared in stunned silence. It wasn't because of the millionaire CEO's expensive suit or the grandeur of the ballroom, but because of the woman walking beside him, a nanny in a simple blue dress, smiling nervously, unaware of the waves she was making. But to understand this moment, we need to go back. Ethan Hale wasn't just any CEO. He was the youngest tech billionaire in the city, brilliant, successful, but deeply lonely. Since the loss of his wife 3 years ago, he had buried himself in work, raising his 6-year-old daughter Lily with the help of staff and professionals. Love, laughter, and warmth had slowly faded from his mansion, replaced by silence and efficiency. Then came Anna. She wasn't supposed to be hired. The agency had made a scheduling error. She arrived early for an interview slot that wasn't hers, dressed modestly, resume clutched tightly, nervous but kind-eyed. She spoke gently to Lily, not realizing Ethan was watching. For the first time in months, Lily smiled without hesitation and ran to hug someone. Ethan didn't care what her resume said. He hired her on the spot. Anna wasn't just a nanny. She brought life back into that cold house. She baked cookies with Lily, told her bedtime stories, made silly drawings for her lunchbox. More than that, she brought Ethan small moments of kindness that he didn't even realize he needed, a warm coffee waiting when he worked late, a reminder to take breaks, or sometimes just silent company while he sat in the living room staring at old photos. One day, Anna found Ethan sitting alone on the stairs, head in his hands. Lily had drawn a picture of her mother, and he didn't know how to explain death to a child still learning how to spell. Anna sat beside him without asking. "You don't have to explain everything," she whispered. "Just feel it with her. Cry with her if you have to. She'll understand love more than loss." He didn't reply, but that night, he sat with Lily and held her close, and for the first time, he allowed himself to cry in front of her. Lily hugged him tighter than ever before. Weeks turned into months. Ethan's colleagues began to notice a change. He smiled more often. He took weekends off. At meetings, he wasn't just sharper, he seemed human again. Then came the company gala. It was tradition. CEOs brought their families or high-profile guests. Ethan was expected to bring a model or some investor's daughter. But instead, he asked Anna, awkwardly, nervously, as if he were a shy college kid again. "Would you come with me?" "As my guest?" he asked. Anna blinked. "Me? I'm your daughter's nanny. You're also the reason I feel alive again." She said yes, hesitantly. She had never attended anything that grand. She wore a simple dress from a thrift store and borrowed shoes. She didn't walk like a socialite, and she certainly didn't speak like one. And yet, when they walked in together, Ethan held her hand with pride. The murmurs started immediately. Whispers. Judging eyes. A few executives chuckled quietly, assuming it was some joke or passing amusement. Some women looked her up and down with thin smiles, waiting for her to embarrass herself. But then something happened. The company announced a surprise segment, asking random guests to share their thoughts on the company's values and direction. Ethan was about to decline for Anna, but she surprised him. "I'll go," she said quietly. She stood on stage, heart pounding, surrounded by strangers in gowns and suits. Then she spoke. "I'm not a businesswoman. I don't know profit margins or quarterly charts. But I know this company saved a man who was drowning in grief. I've seen a little girl smile again because her father started coming home early. I've watched as small gestures, a shared laugh, a caring word, brought life back into a family. Maybe kindness isn't in your mission statement, but it's the reason I believe in this company." Silence. Then applause. Real, heartfelt applause. From assistants, janitors, even some top executives who had silently suffered their own griefs and losses. That night, No one remembered what the board members said or how the wine tasted. They remembered the nanny who reminded them all that behind every success, there must be kindness, or it's all meaningless. As the event ended, Ethan took Anna's hand again, this time without hesitation. "I didn't bring you here to impress anyone," he said. "I brought you because you made me whole again." She looked at him, tears in her eyes. "I was just doing my job." "No," he smiled. "You were doing something much greater. You showed me what love looks like when it doesn't ask for anything in return." They didn't kiss. Not that night. But they stood in that grand hall, surrounded by people and chandeliers, as the only two who truly understood that night wasn't about power or wealth. It was about healing. About kindness. About choosing someone not because of their status, but because of the goodness they carry quietly, humbly, every day. And that's how a nanny shocked the world, not with drama or scandal, but with something far rarer. Kindness that changed a life.